Hello there and welcome to another video. It's the West Brom versus Liverpool preview. I almost forgot that we were playing tomorrow, but it came to mind again. Obviously it's going to be playing this game and then we'll go into next week. We'll hit that one from Monday. Anyway, we'll do the review for West Brom Liverpool on Monday and then we'll move into the rest of the week because it's the final week of the Premier League as well. And we know what that means for us. We know what that means for Liverpool fans and also the club as well. It means hopefully by the end of it all we've got Champions League, but right now we're just going to take it a game at a time and that is all that we can do. What looks impressive from the Manchester United victory was the incisiveness of the players, the speed of thought, the pressing. It was very, very good in pretty much all areas for the majority of the game. Not like how we were last year in like what looked like our team prime, or just our team on fire, but it was better. It was much more improved. And even though we conceded 2 goals, one of them which was an unfortunate own goal for Nat Phillips, but aside from the fact that we conceded 2 goals against Manchester United, it was actually not a bad defensive performance from both the defenders and also the midfielders, primarily Fabinho in terms of turning possession over and Thiago for holding on to possession, spotting good key passes, you know, trying to keep the play going as well. We need all of those qualities for this game against West Brom. West Brom are already relegated, so there really is absolutely nothing for them to play for, apart from maybe if a player wants to stay in the Premier League and wants to make a lasting impression in the last couple of games for West Brom, or I don't know, whether they want to make an impression on Sam Allardyce and whether he's still going to be the manager or a new potential manager, whatever. There's not really going to be playing for a lot, which could play into our hands. It could also go against us because teams that don't have anything to play for generally play in one of 2 ways. The first way would be a little bit lackluster, lack of energy, no real fight, no real desire in the game, and that would play into our hands. The second way that they tend to play, though, is they tend to play with a bit of freedom. There's no pressure. There's nothing on their shoulders anymore. They know their fate. They know that they're going down to the Championship. They've got nothing to lose because they've already lost it. They're going to the Championship. They might want to try and go out with a bang. This is also a team, you know, and let's not forget there's 2 instances of this team under Sam Allardyce that frustrated me, obviously, but it was good for them and also they impressed me. The 1-1 draw that we had against West Brom, the very first game that Sam Allardyce, when he took over, they deserved that one. They deserved that point, and at times in that match they were better than us as well. And then the second time where they amazed me was the Chelsea result that they had where they won 5-2 and they looked creative, they looked sharp, they looked instinctive and good instinctive in front of goal as well. Multiple goal scorers. I think Pereira, if that's his name, Mateus Pereira or something, he was very, very good in that match. And he's been very good in some matches as well. Some people saying that he should be staying in the Premier League as well for next season and shouldn't go to the Championship, but that's all by the by. I guess what I'm getting at here is that Fulham isn't going to be Fulham. Why am I talking about Fulham? It's West Brom. My God, come on. West Brom is going to be it's not going to be an easy match. It's not going to be an easy game, and it wasn't the first time we played them. And I'd like to see us go out and do a little bit more of what we did at Manchester United. Yes, we took some time to grow into the game as well. There were definite moments where we didn't always have control of the ball a great deal. But I think if we put in a similar, if not the same type of performance that we put in against Manchester United, we can get a good result here. And now the team have shown that they're capable of it as well. So what I'm thinking of in terms of the team actually is not too different, if different at all, than what we just played against Manchester United, because it was a very good team, very good, very composed, very good in both midfield, in attack as well, and also the defensive portions of the game as well. They were good in all quarters, and for me, a team that goes out and has a convincing win like that, let's keep it together. You know, we've had very few chances of having consistency this season. Let's just try and show a little bit of consistency if we can. Obviously, barring any injuries or anything like that, which I haven't heard anything about players that played against Man United being injured in this game as well. I'm not entirely sure whether Kabak is going to be available for this game or not, so I'm going to play on the side of caution and say that he's not going to be available. And I'm going for the same starting 11 that we had against Manchester United, which would see Jota resume his role in the front three alongside Firmino and Salah. Then we get Gini Wijnaldum, Fabinho and Thiago. And we have Robertson at left back, Nat Phillips, Reece Williams and Trent Alexander-Arnold and Alisson in goal. I feel if we can go with that type of strength or strong lineup, that might be having a little bit more confidence, maybe standing a little bit taller this week because they've had a good victory. We've beaten Manchester United at Old Trafford. Massive result, and convincingly beat them as well. So really, we could get a good result here as well if we go for that type of lineup. And I'd like to see us go for that type of lineup because let's make no mistake, it's not just about playing West Brom and the next couple of games. It's not about just playing Burnley. It's not about playing Crystal Palace. It's about us playing for Champions League. So whoever is in front of us, we have to try and go out there and destroy them. And that's just how it has to be. It's a shame that this type of play that we put up against Manchester United didn't come earlier in the season, because we would be in a much safer position this season in terms of the top 4 race and stuff like that. But it is what it is. Hopefully this means that Liverpool and all of the players are starting to, gear up towards the finish line, get that last sprint in, and hopefully that is what happens, because that is what is needed as well. It's all well and good that Leicester and Chelsea are playing against each other next week after the cup final, I think. So they've got the cup final this week. Next week it's the Premier League game, or maybe midweek, I should say, or something like that. Yes, it's all, but we don't want to just be relying on results from 2 other teams. We need to go with the mentality that we're going to win our games, that we're going to go and win our remaining games, or try our very hardest to go and win those games as well. And that's exactly what we need to do, and I'm hoping that what we saw from Sadio Mane as well at the end of the game, looking like he was turning away from Jurgen Klopp and the handshake at the end of the game, whether that is what it is, whatever, Klopp says it's going to be something that's going to be talked about and squashed, and it'll be absolutely fine, no worries. Something more to do with, it was a late change in the lineup. So a late change would have been that I think Sadio Mane was originally in the starting lineup. Klopp late on decided to change it to have Jota on the left-hand side and have Mane in off the bench. And Mane obviously probably didn't like that, but hopefully what that means is it's not more of a reflection on Mane as a player as he is right now, because obviously he's not at his best, but it's maybe trying to give him a little bit more fire in the belly, get him competitive and getting himself back up to his levels that he was at even earlier on this season when he was scoring a good amount of goals as well. Maybe that's what's happening there, and I'm going to be positive and hope that is what is happening, which could also possibly see Mane start over Jota in this game. But for me, I would have the exact same lineup that we had against Manchester United, because unless they're tired, unless they've got carrying injuries or knocks or anything, I see no reason to change it, in my opinion. I think if we can keep going with the winning team, the one that was creative, the one that was scoring goals, the one that we saw Trent not only have a very, very good attacking influence, but also good defensively as well. We need to see much more of that. And Reece Williams and Nat Phillips, I've got confidence in them. They don't have the most pace, absolutely correct, but they seem to work well with each other, and it actually seems to be, I know he's had a couple of different partners, but Nat Phillips seems to be turning himself into a leader with the amount of experience that he's had this season, and also being one of our most constant centre-back presences, which is something that we haven't really had a great deal of this season. Not that much consistency, but a lot of it has come from him, if we're being totally honest. So I'm feeling hopeful, but what I fear is that if West Brom are up for it, they can play nice football. They've got good ball playing footballers as well. Most notably, it is Pereira, plays just behind the striker, who also had a good game against Chelsea that time. That Diagne, I think is his name. But they've got some dangerous players as well. They've got some good centre-backs. Ajayi is one that seems to, I think he actually scored the goal against us the first time that we played as well. So, and that was the 1-1. Sam Johnson in goal is a very good goalkeeper, playing for quite a poor side overall, and the table doesn't lie. they are where they are and they're going back down to the Championship. But he, as a goalkeeper, has been very, very good. I think I'm not wrong in saying that he's possibly faced the most shots, made the most saves, or around that sort of general area. If it's not, it's probably Newcastle's goalkeeper or something like that. He's an impressive goalkeeper, and he always likes to frustrate us because he just has good games against us. He always seems to. Well, I say always, at least this season alone. So what am I hoping for in this game? I'm hoping for the same intensity. I'm hoping for that same attacking desire and creative desire, and also the high intensity pressing desire as well, to close down the opposition, win back second balls, lay off balls well, to create attacking opportunities and to score as many goals as we need to. As many as we need to. If it's 1 or 2-0, totally. If it's 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, I've said that before as well. I take any sort of result at the moment, as long as we walk out of there with the 3 points. It's not even about a draw anymore. It's definitely never, ever about a loss. But we need to be going out there and getting the win. I think that Liverpool can do it. I think it's going to be 3-1 to Liverpool. That's what I think. I think we will concede a goal. But I do think that we will win the game 3-1. And by God, we need to as well. And I really hope that the guys can go out and do it tomorrow. 4:30 kickoff, I believe it is, away from home. Third out of the last 3 matches. This is the third, the first one coming up, and we've got another 2 after this one, and then it's all over for a season. We're into transfer frenzies and all that sort of business. But before we get there, we got to try and go and do what we can in the Premier League and get as close, if not in the top 4, as possible. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you once again. Do take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch you later.